My name is Jim Young, as was mentioned, and been following technology for quite a long time.
How do we make information useful? How do we turn it from data beyond insight into action?
So the last few years of my life, I really spent a lot of time looking at building my own buildings and really trying to take these technologies and put them in small locations, 30 to 40,000 square feet. But as you start to go through that process, one of the things that I've realized, it's all about the people. My hope is that technology is really going to unleash us to do some things that allow us to really achieve our potential.
Data itself is a tool. Knowing how to use the tool is important, and without that, the data is not meaningful.
Microsoft took that entire Redmond campus, 113 buildings, instrumented everything. He wanted to climb into every ceiling, and he couldn't do it physically. He was going to do it electronically. His claim to fame is 500 million, 1/2 billion data points from that campus every 24 hours. And he said it's transformed every call, the order of the calls, the priority of the calls. We talked a little bit about, too much data. What is just enough data? And in your experience, where do you draw the line?
The right amount of data is as much data as you can handle that you can still trust. The right amount of data is data that is immediately actionable. You know what? You need just not the building engineer to understand it. The property manager needs to, the 22-year-old who just got out of college, also needs to, who's no experience in buildings, also needs to read it and be like, hey, Steve, why does it say that we wasted $500 yesterday on a hard start? That conversation needs to be able to happen. And so I would say it's the amount of data that can be acted on and the least amount of data.
When you look at other technologies, consumer or automotive, relative to our industry, when you look behind you those buildings, are we keeping pace with every other industry out there as far as how we do implement these technologies?
I can only say from our standpoint, if I look at the age of the people who are developing the software and technology and the people on my end, I'm not sure about yours, who are using it, there's a vast difference. Right. There's a lag.
So there's a generational issue.
There's a generational. Okay. I sort of think in the property management side of the business. I mean, we're working with BOMA and stuff, trying to train the new sort of generation of property managers and building managers, and it's not something that young people are gravitating to.
Right. Real estate's like the last to do everything for, my theory on this is that it's just because it's the less tangible from a consumer standpoint. Consumers, I look at the garment industry, the food industry, the electronics industry, the devices that we wear and we hold and we, eat, mean so much to us that we've been scrutinizing them for a long time, but real estate is sort of this given that people don't think about that much.
Yeah, and it's this cultural thing. It's the guys who've run the buildings for 30 years. How do we get them connected with people who run around with cell phones, mobile phones Velcro to their arms, right? How do we get these different cultures, these different mindsets to work together? That's, I think, the key. Yeah. I think we're getting close to that time. If I could ask the panel one favor, 30 to 45 seconds, your advice to this audience on smart connections buildings.
This is not a short-term problem. We have inherited a set of infrastructure that are going to take a long time to improve, to bring up to this vision we have of a fully connected infrastructure where things operate to their potential. I think the thing to focus on is on the small wins.
Stop talking about it and just start doing it, because the technology is really there.
Yeah, I would echo what everybody has said so far. I think it's my one sentence is whether you're a vendor or a property owner is, don't offer the one-size-fits-all solution and beware the one-size-fits-all solution. I think technology providers really need to have the bandwidth and the staff time to sit down with owners and customize solutions. They really listen and assess their bandwidth and the resources to implement stuff and monitor stuff.